Hey, how's everyone doing? Could you give us a 5x5 and let
Evening,
us
all.
know? Make sure last time we did this for some reason, it said live, but it wasn't working, showing up. So I don't know if I'm just talking to myself again. Um, it doesn't look like it's working again. What is going on with
It's not on
stuff?
mine.
Uh,
There we are.
oh, okay. Are we here?
Yep.
All right. I don't know what is going on with YouTube lately. It's like weird. Okay. It looks like it, man. I've been talking for probably, I don't know, a couple minutes or something, and it wasn't showing up. That was really weird. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Last time that we did a live, it's actually been 2 or 3 weeks since we've done a live. But last time it wasn't like 10 minutes and it still hadn't shown up on the screen. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's StreamYard or YouTube or what's going on. But hey you guys, hey Minuteman, coffee first was first this time, so I'll give her that. So good to see you guys. It's been like it hasn't been 3 months
No.
since we did a live. No, it's been like 3 weeks. It might seem like 3 months, but it hasn't been that long. I'm actually before there's not hardly anybody in here right now, so I'm gonna see if some more. Sometimes YouTube doesn't do the notifications; they don't get them right away and all that. So it hasn't been months. Hey, Thistle Moon Farm, good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, sometimes don't get the first notifications of the second, so wait a little bit and then maybe they see. And plus, like I was saying, we haven't done one in a few weeks, so people probably aren't looking for it or something like that either. So that could be why. But hey, Psycho Billy, good to see you. So I'm glad you guys are all here today. We've got some updates that I want to give. Hey, the Celtic Grandma, good to see you. We've got a few different updates I want to talk to you about and stuff before we get into this. We're not really going to do like the scenario cards or anything today, but I do want to talk about, you know, what's going to happen with the election and everything. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, so I don't know exactly, but what to plan for, what to prepare for, and things like that. Because it's only 46 days away. It's coming in pretty quickly here, you guys. My chair keeps squeaking. It's not me, it's the chair. Okay. First thing I was going to talk about is his surgery update. So if you guys have been following and stuff, and we've been waiting and waiting to get these stress tests and to get cardiac clearance and everything like that. And when you're dealing with the VA, it's a really big pain in the butt and it takes like forever to get anything going. Well, I've been hounding and hounding and hounding, calling all kinds of people. Finally got the clearance for the surgery.
Only because she's worked on it constantly. They probably got tired of her calling and say, "Oh, well, let's."
Well, yeah, because the cardiologist is like, "Well, you have to come in here. Well, we can't read the discs. It was done at a different place, and blah blah blah." Well, I kept calling around and having other people call around and stuff, and finally, we didn't have to go in and see him. Thank goodness, because it was like an hour drive or whatever. And he's like, "I put in the cardiac clearance, so that's all good."
It was almost to the point where I thought I was going to have another stress test, and that was not fun.
Yeah, that was a concern, is having another one, but then the VA wouldn't pay for another one, and it's just a big mess. But he needs to have both of his shoulders total reverse replacement, and then his knee, he needs to have a revision. We decided to go with the right shoulder first because that's what's been bothering him the most, and plus with everything that's going on, he needs to be able to use his right arm for self-defense purposes and stuff, just in case, so
things that make thump on your shoulder.
And now we ran into another slight problem. Might be able to fix it, it might not take that long, but the orthopedics let that like
authorization.
once you have an authorization for something through the VA, you have so long before it runs out, and they didn't renew it or whatever, and it ran out in September supposedly. So they're working on getting the authorization renewed so that he can have that. But yeah, quintessential bureaucracy. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, sorry about the thumbnail, you guys, with putting her up on there and stuff like that. But I was trying to figure out to do a thumbnail and stuff, and I hope I didn't scare anyone by putting Kamala on there. But yeah, so we're just waiting for that. They said that they have some dates in October and November for surgery. We'd like to have it done by the end of October, but
yeah, I'd really like to have it done before the election.
Rambo, my doctor told me when I said it hurts when I do that, he said, don't do that. This was telling him on my shoulder. Yeah, that's funny. His orthopedic surgeon is a really good, hey, little lone prepper. His orthopedic is really good because he's a veteran himself. Hey, Cherie. He's a veteran himself, and so he understands. And I called their office, and I was like, look, I'm really trying to get this surgery done as soon as possible. I said, before all hell breaks loose in the United States. And she started laughing at me, and I go, what's so funny? She goes, it's not that serious. I'm like, you what? I'm like, are you under some rock or something? I said, yeah, it could be serious. So
don't burn your head in sand.
Yeah, so I was like, I got to get these surgeries done and taken care of before things just get really bad. Hey, Dan H, good to see you. I hate the VA. We sacrifice for tears or for yeah, and they want to make us run around to get anything done. Exactly. It's a pain in the butt.
Unpublished motto: deny, delay, hope you die.
Yeah, and speaking of, I'm gonna mention something out there for anybody who is a veteran or knows someone that is not rated 100% through the VA. We used a company, and they don't know I'm talking about this. They're not compensating us anymore or anything. The only reason I'm even mentioning them is because they legitimately have helped us. And we called around to a bunch of different places because lawyers will help you get your disability rating higher and different things, but they take out a ton of your money. This company will only take out anything if you get to 100%. Most of these other companies, no matter if they raise you 5%, 10%, or 30%, whatever, they will take out your back pay, and they take out, like, how much was that one per place taking out? 30, 40, 50%. 50% of your back pay. And it was kind of ridiculous. So we did some research.
And another place said 5 times your back pay.
Yeah. So, I mean, they take out a lot. So we did some research, and we found this place called Reps for Vets. And we started with them in, what was it, May, I believe, of this year. I think it was May. And last month we got approved an extra 10%. He was at 80%.
Yeah,
they raised him up to 90% in that short amount of time, which, if you guys know, once you get to like 70, 80%, it's really hard to get up from there, really hard.
Yeah.
So they raised us up to 90 in that short amount of time. And now they're working on it more to get it up to the 100, because they're working for free. Basically, if they don't get you to 100, they don't take anything from you. So it's a really good company. The only problem I do have with them is that sometimes they're really slow to get back to me when I call them and leave them messages and stuff like that. But other than that, the fact that we've tried different people in different places and stuff, and we've used some of these places that like get grants and stuff, or they get donations and stuff, so they don't take any of your money and stuff like that, but they didn't really help us. They weren't working for us. I guess they're supposed to be working for us, but they're not getting paid. They're volunteers that are doing this kind of work.
It's kind of going from 80 to 90% is about $300 more a month in disability payment, going from 90 to 100 is about $1,500 more.
Yeah, so this next 10% is going to be really difficult, but best friend works for, I can't read that from here. Hold on.
And the thing is, I've got medical, but nobody else in the family does. And if I get 100%, the family will be covered by VA medical. I don't have dental, and I need some bad dental work. And if I have 100%, I'll have dental coverage.
Yeah. So I don't know, Minuteman, if you want to maybe check this place out too to help you if they're not getting you where you need to be and stuff. But this place does take out, but they only take out your back, and they only take out
20%.
20%. And most of these other places we're talking to, like, we're 40, 50, 60% taken out, and they take it out no matter what. This place only takes it out if they get you to 100%, then they take out your back at that point. So, like, since we got to 90, we did have a little bit of back pay from May until September, but they didn't take anything out of it because they only got us to 90%. So the next step, when they go up that extra 10% to 100%, that's when they will take out from that percentage point, from that little bit, for the 10% that they raised it. Yeah. So it's just something to think about if you, friends, relatives, whatever, because dealing with it and trying to get disability rating increases on your own is almost impossible to do. And a lot of places will help you, they say, but they will take out a lot of money. So that's why we went with them. They're pretty good at it.
Like, I've had both knees replaced.
Oh, and he was at 80% for many, many years. I think for about 10 years. So in 6 months, they got him from the 80 to 90%. So I thought that was pretty impressive too.
And because it was service connected, after the knee replacement for 13 months, I got raised to temporary 100% with all the benefits for 13 months. Since Biden, they've lowered that to 5 months.
Yeah, so their administration is doing absolutely nothing to help us or anything, to help the country, to help veterans, to help people in general. Everything's getting lowered and stuff.
And also, I believe before with when Trump is one knee replacement at least 30% up to 60%. If you have to have a revision, it automatically went to 60%. Not with Biden.
Yeah, so they've that's one thing that Kamala, I believe, keeps saying, is that the veterans love them and that they've done so much for veterans and stuff. Bull crap. It's gotten so much worse, because even when we had an issue before, when Trump was president, we had wrote to him and told him about the issues. Well, the VA contacted us and said, we're contacting you because President Trump had called us and let us know what was going on. So what can we do to help you and stuff? So that was amazing. I was
going through the paperwork, and I found the letter from VA talking about President Trump's office contacting them in my behalf.
Yeah, I thought that was just kind of crazy. Crazy good. Also, I want to today we went to go pick up my son from high school today. He stayed after for weightlifting and stayed after. And this sign was not up when we went in to register him and all that. I don't think we've been to the school since then. So it's gone up sometime between beginning of the school and now.
When I missed the bus the other day, I didn't notice it then.
Okay, so it's gone up very recently.
I wasn't really awake.
And obviously, I don't really care if you guys know what city I live in and stuff, but to protect him from school, I'm not going to read what school he's at. But the sign, and this is pretty cool, and we live in Texas too, you guys, just so you know, says, attention, please be aware that the staff at blank ISD may be armed and will use whatever force is necessary to protect our students and staff. I thought that was pretty amazing, because I've never seen anything like that anywhere. I know at any other school that we've been, been to, I've never seen any kind of signs and stuff like that. I know a lot of schools are having problems because there's been a lot of threats and different things on the schools.
Yeah, just
And
yesterday, this morning, a county in Florida, 24 students were arrested for making threats.
yeah, it's been going on a lot. So I think that that's one reason. But yeah, Coffee Versus love that. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing to see something like that outside of the school building. Yeah, very cool. So I just wanted to do that real quick and let you guys know. Okay, let me see here. What else? Okay, there's some. I'll do that in a little bit. Oh, I was gonna tell you guys. We're gonna have a chicken update too pretty soon because you guys know we've had predators and stuff with the chickens. Well, we made something that I'm calling the halfway house for the chickens, and I'm gonna probably maybe tomorrow if I have time or sometime this weekend. I'll put up a little video about what we did to it and stuff like that, so you guys can have some ideas if you're interested in getting chickens and stuff like that, to make sure that they're safe, because that's the number one priority with the chickens.
Yeah, man. The front gate guard tower is complete, although I'm going to add some sandbags to it. I put down the ground floor on the backyard one, which is next to the chicken coop. And it also happens to be behind or between two trees. So I'm making the base really a lot more solid than the one in front because it's going to be bigger. And I'm thinking about either above or below the guard post. I'm thinking about putting a tree house in between the two trees.
Yeah, that might be fun. Yeah, so we've just been doing a lot of projects. Kind of a reason we've been, well, there's another reason that I took some time off of YouTube a little bit. I've been having even worse panic and anxiety lately, and I think it's just knowing what's coming. That's kind of why I wanted to do this video. But like last week, I was actually going to do a live, but I had a panic attack before, like during the day, and whenever I have those, they make me extremely tired, and I can't function or do anything. So I wasn't able to do it. But they've been getting worse. For a while, they went away, and they were really good. It was great, and then all of a sudden, they're coming back again. Hey, Katrinka. And I think it's just with everything that's going on. It's kind of hard not to be stressed. You know, I talk about it all the time that we're Christians and things like that. And people are like, you know, if you're a Christian, you shouldn't have anxiety or panic attacks. Well, that's not true. I know Coffee First. Thank you so much. And I almost did text you actually when I was having that. He's When I first started having him, he didn't know what to do or how to react and stuff. He learned a lot about him. He read, he looked up articles, he did a lot of stuff, and he's learned how to help me through them and stuff now. At first, it was absolutely awful. And I think it's so important if you go through these things to try to get friends, parents, spouses, whoever's around you and stuff to know what things work. And the thing is, different things work for different people too. You know, some people can just go for a walk or something and relax and they're fine. Other people just sit down for a few minutes and they're fine. Me, I can't usually walk when I'm having a panic attack. I'm really dizzy, lightheaded, and I just feel like I'm going to fall over. So, you know, everybody's got different the way that they are. But unfortunately, I just needed to take a little break. I wasn't really in any chats or anything like that either a little bit. I just couldn't watch the prepping stuff. It was just too much for me. Not really prepping stuff, but like all these people out here that are doing all this fear porn and stuff like that. It's just getting so much. Yeah, exactly. I do hyperventilate when I panic. That's why I get dizzy. And the thing is like I don't feel like I'm hyperventilating. And like, cause one time years ago, I had to call an ambulance and stuff, and they told me that I'm hyperventilating. they said that's why you're feeling like this. You know, when you have a panic attack, you're hyperventilating. You need to stop doing that. And I'm like, but I don't think I am. And it's just, you don't realize it. You got to control your breaths. That's the biggest thing for me. And the hardest thing for me is to slow down and control my breaths, especially if it gets up in my head. Once it gets in my head, then I'm dying. I'm having a heart attack. I'm this and that. And then trying to control it is really hard. So I have to keep it from going in my head. But yeah. Okay. Anyway, so go ahead.
Well, I forgot. Last week, we had 5 wild pigs in our backyard.
Oh my, yes.
And it was dark. So the first night, they ran off when I opened the door. The second night, I jumped out there, unfortunately, with my pistol and shot towards them, which ran them off. But since then, I put a pallet, covered it with the tarp on the back porch. That way, if we have wild pigs in our backyard again, I'll get my long thing out behind the pallet and take care of them.
Dan H, I said breasts, not breasts. I said breaths. Sometimes I slur my words. Did you say breasts or breasts? I was like, well, yeah, sometimes I slur my words together. Some words I can't even say, like this. I say it eyebrow.
Eyebrow.
I say eyebrow, not eyebrow. Eyebrow. Okay, yeah, I sometimes have a hard time saying certain things like that. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Hey, Handy Prepper, good to see you. We're just chit-chatting a little bit, talking about, some stuff that we had going on, upcoming surgeries and stuff like that. But we're about to get into what to do now. Because, I was going to say, Minuteman, that's not good about your blood pressure from that. You were, you were worked up though, so that's understandable. I think when I have my panic attacks, it gets up really high. I've made it. Whenever I have a panic attack, I don't even check my blood pressure anymore because it sends me into a deeper panic attack because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying because my blood pressure is so high and stuff. So I've stopped doing that kind of stuff and checking. It helps. You know what, Shannon? I actually saw that at the store the other day. The Oreo Coca-Cola flavor soda. And I almost picked some up because I was so curious as to what it tasted like, but I didn't get it, so I don't know. I'm glad we don't have wild pigs in Michigan. Yeah, well, when we moved here, when we first came in and we were like getting the title and all that stuff done, at the title place, there was somebody in there. It was weird, but they said, yeah, if you have any problems with wild hogs on your property, here's a card, which I don't have the card anymore, but he said, here, we'll take care of them for you. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'll take care of them myself. Why would I pay someone to come over and do it? But we've lived here for over a year now. It was a year in August, and we've only seen one hog before that was somewhat near town, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, was it a week? Not a week ago, or something like that.
We had 5 of them in our backyard 2 days in a row.
Yeah, probably the same 5. It was at night and then in the early morning hours. So
it was kind of hard to see them because they were all black and it was like dark.
Yeah, it was dark back there because it was back by the woods. Because if you guys have seen some pictures we've done and videos and stuff outside, we've got we got a big forest back there and trees, so it's kind of hard to see them and stuff. But
I checked out the scope I had on my long gun, and it's got a good scope to see it low light. So they show back up again.
Yeah, we weren't prepared for it which I know it's bad. We're preppers and we weren't prepared for it. But like I said, we didn't think that we actually had wild hogs out here or anything. So.
I was starting to doubt all these stories about all the wild hogs.
Yeah, yeah. And they will tear up chicken coops and stuff like that. So we gotta be careful. And next time we know what to do if we see them. But I also read that pigs are super duper smart and that they have a really good memory. So the fact that he shot one of them because it squealed like a pig. And I think they have a really good memory, so they probably won't come back here because they'll remember that. But I don't know.
But I shot with a 45. Next time it'll be 308.
Yeah, I was just kind of reading some comments here for a minute, but okay. I guess that's about all the updates I wanted to do. I was hoping Red Dog would be in here because I wanted him to come up on panel. But we still have some time, but I'm just going to bring this up real quick. If you guys are anywhere near northeast Oklahoma, or somewhere around there, like we're in Texas, but he's having a retreat at his house in October. And we're gonna have a costume party, just different things like that, and it'll be so fun. I believe it's the 18th, 19th, and 20th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Is that something new?
I'll probably what
information.
I put that on there,
okay.
that disclaimer.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in that or anything, email me or get a hold of Red Dog to find out the information and stuff like that. I just wanted to put that out there. I'll probably bring him on to talk about it next month or something like that, but just wanted to bring that up. So what we're talking about is, what happened to my thing? Hold on. Okay, there we go. So we've got what, 46, you said? 40,
I believe
about 46 days until election time. What do you guys need to do now to prepare? That's not a lot of time, unfortunately. Most of you guys should already be prepared with stuff, but I would suggest doing some inventory. If you're anything like me, since we moved here, my stuff is still kind of scattered all over the place. I have it like all thrown up in one room, and I really need to work on that. Probably this weekend and next week. That's what I'm going to be doing, is going through all my stuff, inventorying everything, and seeing if I've got any holes or anything. That's one of the big things I would suggest doing to make sure what you need and what you don't, because you'd be surprised. You might think, oh, I've got everything that I need. I've been prepping for, years and years and stuff and got it all. And then you're stuck at home and realize, crap, I guess I could use some more of this or that or whatever, that's what's happened to me before, like during like little tiny SHTFs type of things, you just never know. What are you doing?
It's 47 days, it says, but
47. Okay. Well, 46, 47. It's fine. Just got a new Opus, and my hubby said yes without a fight. Oh, well, that is so awesome, because I know that you were having some problems with him getting on
46.
Him getting on board and stuff. So that is awesome. I'm so happy. This is my thought on the whole thing. No matter who wins, it's going to be a mess, but the timing of the mess is what's going to make the difference. Because if Trump wins, now that would be good for the whole country, even if they don't see that. We can't have Kamala win, because that would just destroy us. I mean, there would be no country left. We'd be completely communist, socialist, whatever. It just, But if Trump wins, then the biggest thing I believe that we're going to have to worry about is civil unrest on the other side from day one. That same day, they're going to be out.
In office.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In November, that same exact day, it's going to start getting bad, because they don't care. They'll go out, they'll protest, they'll do all this kind of stuff. Not even protest. They'll go out and burn things down and tear up cities, smash and grabs, whatever. They're going to do it all. Now, And that'll happen in November. That's why I don't want to say this, but I'm actually worried that Kamala is going to win. Not necessarily legitimately, but it could be like what happened in 2020. And if she wins, I don't think that there will be civil unrest right away, because I don't think Republicans are going to do the same thing. They're just not. I don't know. Maybe how soon before we're just fed up with everything that's happening, But I think it'll take longer, like might take until Kamala were to get into the presidency, which is what, January, right?
Yeah.
So that is probably when we'll start having some issues. But then we could also break out into some kind of civil war, revolutionary war. But the other scenario is, what if they do some kind of black swan? They declare World War III before the election. There's not a long time before it, so they don't have a long time to figure this out. But what if they stop the election from happening somehow?
All these failed attempts against who is the next one gonna succeed and do the bad deed?
Yeah, I saw somewhere that there's been like basically 5 attempts. There was a plane one, which I don't know if a lot of you guys have heard about. I didn't know that they were actually calling that an attempt. I didn't think that there was enough evidence either way, but I guess they're saying that because something happened with the plane. It was malfunctioning or something like that. Also, there was the first attempt in Pennsylvania, I believe, second attempt in Florida, or the third attempt in Florida, and then there was, I just saw this, and I haven't fact checked any of this. Again, this is just our opinions and stuff. I've got the little disclaimer up there, and a lot of this I'm not 100% sure about, but something happened at a rally where a lot of the people that were behind Trump had problems with their eyes after the rally. Some of them felt like they went blind. Some of them, they were all itching. They're irritated and
had to go to the hospital.
There were a bunch of people like that. So I don't really, that hasn't been talked about that much or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was one more little type of thing, but I'm not 100% sure what that was.
See what copy first?
That's what I'm trying to see. Someone said a car on Long Island at the rally, but when was this? Today?
I think so.
Yeah, like there's been a lot of stuff going on, and I'm actually really getting concerned. If they were to succeed and take him out, that could cause a lot of problems. So in other words, we might not even have, the rally was yesterday. Okay. I'll have to do some research on that one. I think that's the other one that I had heard, but some of these they don't really talk about that much. Like the plane thing was talked about that day and then dropped, and I never heard anything else about it again. But the same thing with like the golf course one. At first they were like, oh, it wasn't, they didn't call it an attempt. And then later on they actually did call it that. It's just so much craziness is coming.
And that guy and the guy before that have a connection with BR, if anybody knows who that is. And the second one may have had connections to the CIA.
Yeah, some weird stuff is going on. So sorry, I was just trying to read some of this stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. He's still going out there. He's still doing rallies and stuff. I don't know, if I was his family, I'd be a little bit concerned for him. And I pretty sure the way Trump is, he's not going to back out. He's going to keep fighting. Like that day in Pennsylvania when he held up his fist and said, "Fight, fight, fight." Yeah, he's going to keep fighting. He's not going to quit, but I don't think they're going to quit either. I think that they're literally scared that he is going to win because they know that cackling, lady is not the best choice for them. Yeah, they didn't want her. I still don't know how all this happened because they didn't even vote for it.
It's all about money.
Yeah, she just said, okay, that and she got pissed off when they tried to put someone else in there. But they have no one anyway. It wouldn't matter who they put in there. No one's good enough to beat him. But what really amazes me, if any of you guys saw the debate, I was watching it on a YouTube channel, and it was the only channel I could find that let me live comment during the debates, and it was a very, very left-leaning comment section, and I'm just like, you guys are absolutely nuts in here. What is wrong with you guys? They're like, turn off his mic, and she's winning, and she's just crushing him, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you serious? Of course she should crush him. She had all of the questions ahead of time.
And she had a microphone.
And that's fact check. There was a whistleblower on that. So, I'm just stating, and good for them for coming out about that. I don't know if it's going to matter or anything's going to be done about it. But
yeah, that person supposedly was no fan of Trump's.
Exactly. They just knew that what happened was wrong. And I admire that, I'd be the same way, even if I didn't like the person, if I knew somebody else was doing something or cheating or something like that, it's got to be fair. And it sure wasn't fair.
Well, it's like, go back to
she was the one who set all the conditions for the debate. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw YouTube was showing a pair of earrings that looked exactly like the earrings that she had, and he was hearing music through the earring.
Oh yeah, those earrings were not earrings. I mean, they were something. Yeah.
And go back to the Florida almost shooter. There's no way you can convince me that he just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but there was nowhere on the itinerary for Trump to be there at that time. He wasn't supposed to be there. And only a very few people knew he was going to be there. So
no way.
So somebody had to have tipped him off inside. Exactly. Coffee first, inside job. I hope they figure out who. I mean, they said it was a very few amount of people that knew. So that means it should be easier to track down. Now, whether they will or they'll do anything about it, I don't know. But if I was Trump, I would actually hire my own security that I could trust and stuff, because although I will give Secret Service some prompts on it, that they got the guy before he could even fire off a shot. They saw the barrel of it, and by the way, it wasn't an AK, just so you guys know.
SKS.
It was an SKS. But they saw the barrel of it, and they started shooting at him, and he took off and ran. The problem is he shouldn't have been able to get 45 minutes away or something. He was driving for like 45 minutes or something.
Been able to leave the scene.
That's what I mean. He shouldn't have. And thank goodness a bystander, a civilian, got the license plate number, and that's how they wound up arresting him and stuff.
Alive.
Yeah, which could be good, or he could wind up like Epstein or something like that. Because usually they don't come alive because of the fact that then they can talk and tell different things. So
like Jack Ruby.
Yeah, so I don't know. Whoops.
And isn't it odd that to this day we still don't know all the info on JFK assassination?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. We probably won't know what that guy's thoughts were or anything like that. I don't know when he's getting arraigned or anything like that, but
I don't know. I had a relative who owned an oil
hey
company.
Vision, good to see you. Thank you for the don't forget to smash the like button, folks. Thank you.
I had a relative who owned an oil company in Dallas when JFK got assassinated. And he was, like I say, he owned the oil company. He was one of the movers and shakers in Dallas. And he told me, I can tell you for without a doubt, there was more than one shooter.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that we'll never know. And same thing with this. But I think the best thing that we can do is if you're a praying person, just keep praying for Trump because he needs all the prayers that he can get. Because I think that if they actually do succeed in taking him out, our country is going to be so divided. And we're already divided, but it's going to be so much worse. We're probably going to break out into some kind of civil wars or something is going to happen.
Civil unrest.
Even worse than civil unrest.
To the extreme.
Yeah, to the extreme. At that point, I don't think people will just sit still and do nothing.
That's why I want to get my shoulder done before the election.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to get everything done before then, because regardless, like I said, civil unrest will be probably the biggest concern, and it'll be probably the quickest and easiest one. Everything else with inflation and stuff, that's going to keep going up. There's really nothing we can do about it. And even if Trump wins the election, he gets into office, nothing, bad happens to him or anything. He's still going to have a hard time fixing what's so badly broken right now.
Well,
so it's not going to be a quick fix. So if anybody thinks, well, he'll get in and he'll save us and do all this. No, the only person that will save us is Jesus. Trump is not a savior. And like you're saying, the Dems
and the rhinos will fight him every step of the way.
Yep. Yeah, and so it's going to be a really hard process for him getting in. So even if he does win, and I hope he does, I definitely hope he does. I'm not, but I'm just saying, even if he does, things are not going to be fixed right away. So if anybody is thinking, well, he's going to win and our borders are going to be fixed and inflation, costs will go back down and we'll be hunky dory. Fortunately, that's not how it works.
Well, have you ever seen the price for groceries go up and then go down?
No.
Once it goes up, it stays there.
Yeah. Yeah. So regardless, you guys need to just keep prepping. And right now, with not very many days left, hey DB Cooper, good to see you. I believe you need to push it into overdrive. Hey Nunya, good to see you. Yeah, we just need to start pushing it in overdrive. Make sure you've got everything done. And pay attention if you live in big cities. Obviously, I'm not saying just go somewhere else. You can't do that. I mean, you don't have enough time, work, whatever. That's fine, but you just need to have situational awareness. Be very wary. Always carry. Make sure that you are safe and your family is safe. You just need to watch out for things. If you don't need to go out somewhere, don't go out. I mean, stay home. Even stores are probably going to get ransacked and all kinds of things. It's just better to be safe, stay in your house or whatever. If you live in the country and stuff, don't be going to big towns if you don't have to. That's why we prepare. You get as much supplies as you can so you can at least for 3 months. Okay. Bare minimum should be 3 months. I mean, bare minimum's a month, but with everything that's going on, I wouldn't be comfortable telling you guys for a month. I think you need at least 3 months. Okay, Vision, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, so if you don't have 3 months worth of supplies, that water, food,
Definitely water.
the water and the food are the two main things. You don't need all this kind of gear and stuff. Yes, gear is lovely. I love gear. I go looking on stuff all the time and I'm like, "Ooh, I need that." And I'm like, "No, I really don't need that, but I want that."
And the ability to make fire.
Yeah, in different states you're going to need different things because this is going into winter time too.
Socks and
So
underwear.
if you're in the south, this probably wouldn't apply to you as much, but in the northern states you're going to need your wool socks, good boots, ways to make fire if the power goes out, things like that, because like I said, it's going into wintertime, so it's going to start getting colder and stuff, so you need to make sure. And also your animals, if you've got animals and pets, make sure that they can stay warm and stuff too, and that they've got food and things like that too. So
and if you have extra, maybe get some extra tires for your vehicle, oil for your vehicle, belts, things that might go out that might be hard to find.
Yeah, once you've got enough food and water, then you can move on to the other things that you would need or maybe want and stuff. Well, okay, that kind of gear is required to protect food and water. Okay, so that kind of gear is required. At least some way of protecting your stuff. But other kinds of gear, like, I don't know, all this cool backpacks and like you really don't need 5 generators, although I mean, if you have the money, go for it. But you can do with smaller amounts and stuff. Now, yeah, that I do recommend you getting to protect your stuff, because people are going to start coming and looking for your stuff because they can't get any, from somewhere.
Right now, the only place I
thank you so much, Shandy Prepper. I appreciate that.
Right now, the only place I go to that I cannot carry protection on me
and just go commando
is the hospital.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that you can't carry in hospitals or the VA or anything like that. That's kind of a bad thing, but it is what it is. Every other place. We live in Texas, so pretty much everywhere. And I told you guys, I don't know if you guys weren't all in here, so I'm going to read this one more time for you guys. I saw this sign outside my son's school when I went to go pick him up today. It's fairly new, probably like within a week or so. I'm not going to read you the name of the school, but I'll just read this to you. It says, "Attention, please be aware that the staff at blank ISD may be armed and will use whatever force is necessary to protect our students and staff." So that is really awesome, because I've never seen anything like that before at any school that any of my kids have gone to. So I think things are starting to heat up, and even the schools know that, so they're starting to do things that they need to do and stuff. You just got new tires, Katrinka. That's cool. Let me go back. Hold on one second.
And coffee, we have so much coffee stocked up. We do not want to go without coffee.
Yeah, I forgot. Danny H said, "Rambo, just go commando, cut down on laundry."
I do.
Well, I'm just saying, like, because you mentioned underwear, I think, on the or something. So yeah, that's something that you can do too.
About the only time I wear underwear.
Yeah, I agree. DB Cooper. Every school should have that sign. That's awesome. Yeah.
In truth, the only time I wear underwear is when I go see the doctor.
Yeah, those lugs on those tires are pretty hard to do. I mean, sometimes it's hard that I wouldn't know how to work on a vehicle except for basic maintenance. I know how to change a tire, but I'm not physically strong enough to loosen the lugs. Yeah.
Well, get one of those T-handle lugs. I suggest everybody get a floor jack if they can store it in their vehicle. it works a heck of a lot better than that rinky-dink jack that got the vehicle comes with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and another thing too, if you do have to travel, like say like your work, you have to go to work or something. Okay. Here's a suggestion. If you have vacation days saved up for the year, might not be a bad idea to use them after the election and stuff, depending on how craziness goes. It might be a good time to use them. Just a thought. Check around and see how things are in your area and stuff like that. Hey, I can't say your name. I'm sorry. Moyax 2001. Hey, good to see you. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Might be a good time to use up vacation days. If you don't have any or anything like that, make sure you've got in your vehicle like a get home bag and stuff like that. Make sure you got water and things just in case. And if you are a person that either can't have a firearm or don't want one for whatever reason and stuff, you still need some type of protection stuff. Okay. I mean, that's obviously the best choice, but there's also times when you're not going to want to use that, and using something else will work just as good too. You don't always have to go for the lethal, but whatever it is, you want to make sure you have something too in your car just in case, even if it's a baseball bat or a knife or something like that. But you always want to have something, because I know some states are harder to get those than other states, or for whatever reason you're not legally allowed to have one. Someday that won't matter, because if there's no rule of law, it's not going to matter if you're legally able to have them or not. But I'm not telling you to break the law or do anything like that, so don't get me on that. But
and also DB Cooper, I like the floor jack, also like jack stands for safety while I'm underneath the vehicle. And we've got a little thing that
you can't carry a bat in New York. Oh wait, I can't even carry a bat in New York without a ball. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, bear spray. Yeah, that's good. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
We've got did we get it Harbor Freight, a little machine that will jumpstart the vehicle, diagnose the alternator, and will air up your tire.
Yeah, and I think it's got plugs to like charge up like phones and different things like that in it too. Yeah. Hairspray and a lighter is a very good thing to have. Put that in a bug out bag or something like that. You never know. That's a really good thing. We're getting a little bit low on time. We're about to go, but I wanted to read you guys something here. It's not too long. I'll try to enunciate my words and stuff. This is something that I saw on Facebook, and you guys might oh, Red Dog, hey, you're coming in at the end of this. This is something that I saw on Facebook. You guys might have seen this already or whatever. But it says author unknown, so I don't know who wrote this. But here we go. A rattlesnake bit one of my sheep in the face about a week ago. Deadliest snake that lives around here. The sheep's face swelled up and hurt her terribly. But the old rattlesnake didn't know the kind of blood that flows through the sheep. Anti-venom is most often made from sheep's blood. The sheep swelled for about 2 days, but the blood of the lamb destroyed the venom of the serpent. I was worried, but the sheep didn't care. She kept on eating, kept on drinking, and kept on climbing because she knew she was all right. Don't worry about the serpent or his bite. Just make sure that the lamb's blood is flowing through your veins. So I just wanted to read that to you guys. Don't worry about what is going to happen and things that you can't worry or control or change. Just worry that Jesus is in you and that you've got his blood, and he will protect you from whatever is to come. Because that's the hardest thing I have myself, is trying to worry about things that I can't fix or I have no control over anyway. But you need to just stop and not do that. And just remember that Jesus is by you no matter what, and that his blood is inside of you, and he will be there and calm you. Go ahead.
Yep. Prep your soul. That's the number one prep. Give it to God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I had a brain fart.
it's okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to close with that real quick, because I know sometimes out there it can be really, things get stressful. I get stressed listening to all this, even listening to channels and stuff about the news and what's going on. So many different things are happening. Like I said, in reality, most of this stuff we can't control. There's nothing that we can do about it. It's going to happen. And also, I firmly believe that we are going to be entering the tribulation pretty soon. And so, who's in control? God is in control. So all this is happening for a reason, and he's still in control. We know how the Bible ends. We know that good wins. This is about good and evil. We know that good wins. God wins, good wins, we win. So, just remember that this weekend, next week, and when it gets closer to election, just remember that God is still with us and he's still in control, even when it looks like it might not be.
Well, it's like I finally remembered what I was going to say. Is it like if you have a problem, first of all, being able to know that you have a problem is a good thing. But you have a problem. If there's something you can do to solve the problem, solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If there's nothing you can do at the moment to solve the problem, give it to God, and he will either solve the problem or he will show you a way to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just want to do that as a little reminder for you guys. Because like I said, I've been having anxiety and panic attacks and stuff lately. And I read that and I was like, you know what? That's just perfect for how I've been feeling and stuff. And I know some of you guys out there get a little worried and stressed out things. Even if we're prepared, all we can be prepared. It's that fear of the unknown type of thing that kind of worries us a little bit. So yeah, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Exactly. If anybody ever needs to email me, wants to talk about anything, whatever, the email is thepreppingartist@gmail.com. It's under my bio or something on the channel. You guys should find it. And we'll leave you with that today. Yep. I think that's good. We'll try to be back next week. If things don't happen between now and then, but it should be fine. We'll be back, and I'll try to put up a video this weekend or something about the chickens. So thank you guys for being here so much. I really appreciate you all. I just can't believe you'd take your time to spend with us. We thank you so much.
There's so many things you could be doing and seeing and doing.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate spending time with us.
Yeah. So thank you guys. God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
God bless.